Hey everybody, this is Cam from Cam Make Stuff, and I was out working on a project not too long ago, and I saw this pallet that I had picked up a long time ago, and it's a pretty solid pallet. I mean, you can see that there's not a whole lot of gaps between all those boards, and I wanted to make a table. So I decided to stop the project I was on and started working. I'm going to start working on this table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably cut it just about in half. So I'm going to cut it right down here. If you look at the top, I'm going to cut it on this side of all those of the rails. There's actually not even real rails back there, if you can tell. They're just blocks on wood. So I'm going to cut it on this side here, cut off, you know, the junk stuff down here, and I'm going to put some legs on it. Maybe put some casters on it if I can find some casters around here someplace, and then I'm got a table. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little fun, and I hope you enjoy the trip. So as I do some better examination of this table, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off right here. So we're going to follow this line right here and just cut all the way down. And then I'm going to cut off, I'm thinking I'm just going to sawzall right through the center of these things, cut all of those blocks off. That keeps a nice support here. Same thing on that side there. So I can support that side there. And then I'm not sure what I want to do from there. You know, I know I'm going to put some legs on it, so I need to have something to attach to up here. And so this might work right for me for that. Or I might need to reattach this block. But the worst case scenario is I'm going to cut all this junk off the bottom side here. So I know I'm going to do that at least, and then maybe cut out some of the middle blocks. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of a base on this so that I can put a floor, you know, put some stuff underneath the table. So everything's going according to plan. There is my tabletop. It's upside down. I've got a couple blocks down at this end, a couple of blocks down at that end, and this is what's left over from the pallet. I'm just going to clean it up and get all the pieces off that I want, and I'm gonna make a bonfire with the rest of it. So, but what I did discover is that these blocks here at the end, some of them aren't on very securely. I mean, got plenty of nails in there, but they're not staying very well. So I'm gonna throw some screws in here and try and get this to hold a little better, a little stronger, and go from there. So I tightened everything up. I've, you know, hammered it all together a little bit better, and now I'm ready to put some screws in. And I've got some huge old 3 inchers or 2.5 inchers, and I just am checking to make sure that they're going to go all the way into the block, and that they're not going to come out the other end. So I'm going to throw a couple of these in each one of the blocks over here, and then I'm going to start working on legs. So I just finished putting screws in each one of my blocks here, and it is so stinking solid. I am so excited about that all the way around. And now what I'm working on is I'm going to put some legs. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of wood and make like a V-shaped channel and go down here to where it's, you know, kind of like this, and it's just going to come down. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to make them yet, but I'm going to make a couple of legs. You know, obviously 4 of them, and then I'm going to go from there. Because see what's going to happen. We'll go from, well, I don't know, but we're going to check it out. So I was looking at my pile of wood here, and I've actually pulled a couple pieces out. They're all sitting up on top here. They're too short for some pieces of work, and they're too long for other pieces. So I'm going to probably use those. Going to cut them all about the same size, and then start piecing them together and making those V-channel legs. I've never done this before, so this is kind of new for me. So I went through my scrap wood and I started finding some wood, and some of it's longer, some of it's shorter. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a V out of it, something like this, to where you can see. And I'm going to cut them all the same length, and then I'm going to start attaching them to the table. Okay, so I made my V-channel legs, and they're not all exactly the same length. So I think I can actually fix that up when I put the legs in, or the feet, the rollers in. I can put the rollers or the casters down underneath and hide any issues I have there. as far as length of legs. I mean, as you can tell, it's all scrap wood, so it's, you know, it's all beat up and bust up and all kinds of stuff. I mean, just kind of junk wood, but I'm going to have a lot of support down there and support up here, so it's all going to work out, I think. We'll find out, but that's how it is. So as I'm starting to put my legs on, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. If I want to put them flush with the top, or if I want to drop them down to just be under the top, or even just on the block down here. And I think I'm going to go flush with the top. I think that'll give me the best look, and maybe and hopefully the strongest portion of it. I'm going to put the junk side down at the bottom, kind of hide it a little bit so it's not as ugly. But it's, I mean, it's definitely ugly. I mean, it's a pallet wood, but that's just, you know, kind of what we do. And you know, I don't know, but, and really I don't care, but that's what I'm just thinking about. So I'm just gonna lay this on the ground, start putting these legs on, and hopefully they all come out right. So here's the first view of the actual table. Looks pretty good. I'm kind of happy with what we did, or what I did, and it's coming along. But when you start, you know, sitting on the table or playing with stuff on the table, it's kind of wonky right now. So I'm gonna make that bottom shelf and get those casters on, and that should help us to where it's not gonna be so wonky. So I put together my bottom platform and just nailed it, so it's not super heavy duty together, you know, but it's pretty thin wood, so I'm not going to put too much nails in it. Put some little spacers down here at the bottom so that when we put our casters on, it's going to work out right. So the casters are going directly to this, and then that's all going to be attached to the legs down here. So that's kind of what the plan is, and we've got casters already set up. My son put those together for me, and they look really good. We just found some old self-tapping screws and put them in so they're nice and tight. I mean, they're well used, as you can tell. I mean, they're used. And we got some 3-inch screws that we're going to use to put it all together. So see you in a bit. So we just got our casters on this piece here, and it's rolling around just fine. Now we're going to put that piece on this piece, and then we'll do throw in some supports, and we're good to go. Okay, so we finished up, put it out, table rolls. One thing we did notice is that it bends and bows right here in the middle, so we're gonna attach a couple of pieces down here, a couple of rails down here at the bottom and at the top on each side, to make sure that we don't have it so it bows in the middle. But besides that, I think it looks pretty good. It rolls around. It's a good little table, about the height I wanted it. Okay, so here I am. I think we've got it all complete. You can take a look. Here's the table. We put some side rails on it just to give it a little support. It's got casters, it rolls around. There's no rail here or anything, so it's just gonna be a little weak there, but I don't really care. But it's a good looking table. I'm really happy with it, and it's level, at least according to my concrete. It's as level as it's going to be. So it can be fun, and that's it. So if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. You know, write something, ask me some questions maybe, and or if you have an idea of something that you want me to shoot or to make, that's fine, because Cam makes stuff. That's why. All right, I guess. Okay, is that it? I think that's it. So that's it. Maybe I'll build something else today since it's not quite 1 o'clock. So, all right.